Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of this video from the Johanna Basford Weekly Planner, and we are probably going to get quite a lot done today. I'm not quite sure if we'll get it done. We'll just wait and see how the time goes. I'm firstly going to do the little things that I forgot at the end of the last video that I noticed I'd missed. So I've got a walnut brown here, Polychromos pencils by the way, and I'm just going to do these little teeny tree trunks, that one and that one. I think that's all. Yep. We do have, no, I'm not going to do that, that's that. Now the lighthouse isn't quite finished. I am going to grab the warm grey 5 that we use for our roofs, and I'm going to do the little weird thing. No, I'm not going to do the weird thing on the top. I'm going to do these horizontal sort of lines. I'm going to try and fade them a bit towards the middle, and this one and this one, but the rest of it we're going to do in a much lighter grey. Yes, probably warm grey 3, so it's dark enough to show a little bit but not too much. So I'm going to again fade it to nothing in the middle so that it looks like it's almost just a slightly dirty white, and hopefully it will just give us a slight spherical look. I'm not sure how well that worked. It's quite small, isn't it? I'm also going to use that for this little weird circle thing on the top and the top of there and there. I think, yeah. Right, next I'm going to move on to something very different. I'm going to do the grass, and I'm going to do it with this colour. This is in fact the grass green. Why not? So we're going to do all the grass on this top island to start with. Again, I'm going to keep it quite simple, not worrying about any shadows, any shading, but I am going to do a sort of up and down movement. Now, although I don't want to see every single pencil stroke, if I do it in this direction, then it won't matter if you do see the pencil strokes, because it will just look like I've been trying to do grass shape. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Grass, the direction of the grass. Oh dear. Hopefully you know what I mean. So it makes more sense to do it in this direction. And because we've got little fiddly bits to colour around, it might not be the neatest colouring, so it can look like it's intentionally like that. If you just, there we go. This other bit I'm going to actually do in the same colour because it doesn't overlap very much, and again it's grass. There's a bit in there. I've remembered to bring through my pastels and stencil in case we get that far. I'm not sure how long all these little bits are going to take us really, and I don't want to make the video really long. I know some of you say you like longer videos, but I need a little break as well in between, and yeah, if I make videos that are much longer, I won't be able to get you videos every day. So it's a sort of trade-off really. It's shorter videos and then you can have some every day rather than a long video every so often. So, and on my my members of my YouTube channel get longer videos, in the sense that this one, for example, which is in several parts, any video that's in several parts I will glue together into a sort of compilation, and they get that on day one, or sometimes even earlier. I try and do these planner ones at the weekend so they can get a head start. So they get a sort of longer video, but you still get all the same content. I don't like the idea of doing a membership where you have to pay to get different content. I just do early access to videos and which compilations. I think it keeps it simple to understand what's going on and fairer for everybody, as I know that not everybody can afford it, and that's of course, I don't expect you to. And also, you know, there are more important things to pay for than membership. You know, these days there's so many things that we need to buy. I think that's all the grass. Yeah, I feel like this is a bit messy. I'm just going to go over it a bit because I'm being a fussy one. It'll give you a chance to catch up as well if you haven't quite got as far as I did. Just a little bit here and there. You can, if you want to do second layer, you can also pause the video, do a bit extra. Right, that is our grass. Now where should we go from here? I quite like the idea of finishing off this one. So I'm going to grab a different shade of green. I'm going to go for my permanent green olive and do these on here. Now when I do leaves, I like to fade them towards the tip. I'm not going to do that on these. Just going to do them quite solid because they come out into the white paper, and if I happen to put some pastel in the background near them and the tip is white, then they'll turn blue, so I don't want that. But I'm not going to do any more plants on this island in this colour, but I will do some other plants on the page in this colour. So we're going to dot over again. Where should we go? We'll do... Actually, that looks similar to that. Does it look similar to any others? Not really. I just noticed we've got what looks like grass here. Which I could, anyway, it doesn't matter. I think I'll do these on this end in this colour. Again, just blocking it in. Nothing fancy. Just they're quite out of proportion, aren't they? Sometimes I don't notice, and then sometimes I'm like, my goodness, that leaf is the size of a front door. But of course, if it was any smaller, we'd never colour it. The house is just very far away. I just think it's adorable. It doesn't worry me. But obviously, and also, you know, look at this house here. That balloon's the size of the house. If there was a balloon the size of my house, would it be able to lift my house? I don't think so. But anyway, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? So all of these, and then I'll do a few other bits with this colour too. Sorry, itchy face. There we go. I might do those and those the same colour. Let's go down here and do a bit of this. Let's do these in this colour. And then I'm going to actually do the grass on this whale one, because while I think about it, because it needs to be in the grass green. And I know I said we were going to do that one over there, but the idea is that we still dot about a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to sharpen my grass green and then do the grass on this whale page. Whale bit, not page. So all the long thin bits I'm going to do in this colour. As I have done on the others. I know it's sort of a watery one, so it might be a different colour, but I think it's quite nice having the same colours across the different sections of the picture, because it is the same page. I've got a splodge here of mauve where I dropped the mauve pencil, which is not particularly attractive, but never mind. There we go. Now we want another green for, let's do these and these, that one different. What should we use? Let's use this. Oops. Just giving it a sharpen, trying to identify what it is. It is number, oh, I think it's the permanent green. Yeah, it's the permanent green. And we'll do, yeah, as I say, these. It's quite a big tuft of leaf there. It's cute though. And this one, but we'll do that one there in a slightly different colour. It's quite nice just varying it a little bit, I think. But not too many millions of colours, right? I'm going to do these shapes because that's sort of the shape of leaf that I've done already. Actually, and this one. They all look quite similar. I can see I've missed the grass there. So I shall grab my grass green. Whoops, just tidy up there. I'm quite bad at not doing that actually and just leaving it a bit messy, but it's not ideal. I get a bit lazy. Just doing the same again there. There we go. And we are going to go down to this one. Yeah, let's do this one here. And then got our little bucket to do. Just spotted it. It's cute. Yes, we've got one more here. I'm going to use the earth green yellowish, just to sharpen it because it's quite a different shade, but it's not much darker. I think it'll look a bit different. And then I'm hoping that means we've finished that island. We haven't done that smoke, that's for another time. And I'm going to do these ones with this. But I feel like the smoke is more part of the background, but I might colour it in grey. Have a think about that while we do these leaves. Nice and slowly. Lots of fun. This page is almost like a page from Small Victories in that we've got, just going to grab my grass green and just tidy up, in that we've got little bits to do, you know, each island could be done in a separate session, but actually I like to tie them together and do them, you know, make the colours match across them. This is 165, I think it's, just going to look before I say what it is. It is not on my list. It's Juniper green, which is what I thought it was. Going to do these evergreen trees, pine trees in this. Yeah, if you did this one and then wanted to repeat the colours on this one, for example, you would need to write it down. Some people write on post-its. I don't like sticking post-its in my book because I'm always scared it might leave a bit of sticky behind. I write on a loose sheet of paper and stick it in the book. Just place it in the book or write it in a notebook. But you do have to remember that it's there, because if you then colour a page, in a different page in the book, if you've left your page as a work in progress and you're going to go and you've got a piece of paper in the book, then when you colour a big area, it might be under that page and leave a nasty line. You know, look, I've just smudged that. I didn't know they smudged so easily. I suspect it was a bit of pencil dust that smudged. Anyway, you probably can't see that, I'm not in that closely. We've got our two trees. What should we use for those? I'm going to use the orange for these. I'm going to make them flowers while I think about the tree. This is the dark cadmium orange that we used for those flowers. And do it for these as well. Just while I think about the trees. What sort of shade of colour? I think we don't want a bluey green. We haven't used any bluey greens yet. I just don't feel that's what I want. I might use this one. This is the Chromium Green Opaque. It's nice and long. It's new, isn't it? So I tend to do a round and round colouring movement for this sort of tree. It just seems to work with the way it's drawn. I love the way Johanna draws trees like this. Such fun. And you can do sort of darker bit on the edges of the lines if you want to give it some shading. But I am keeping, because I haven't done that on anything else, I'm not going to do it on these. I'm just going to do my sort of round and round technique to make it look bushy. And that's all I'm going to worry about with this one. Like that. And then the same on this one over here. And I'm going to have a look at, oh, we're doing well for time. We should be able to get it done. I thought this would be a 3-parter. Looks like we're going to get it done in 2. And that's because of using a limited colour palette, I think, and not doing any shading. Makes it a lot quicker, you know, not doing any shadows, and also no blending. I don't really do blending very often, do I? I think perhaps I should do a bit more, but anyway. Not today. We've got this grass here which I've I think I'm going to use this colour, the permanent green olive, for that. And then we'll do the water. I've decided what colour I'm doing for the water now. So that's good. Oh, I haven't done the bucket. I'll remember it as we do the water, hopefully. Actually, I'm going to do the bucket first. Now I want to do it in a cold grey. I'm going to use cold grey 3 to try and make it look a little bit metallic. It's small, so that's going to be really tricky. So what I do is I do a darker bit on the edge and then fade towards the middle, leave a white bit to look like shine, and we'll do the same on our sort of pulley. Oh, there's my doorbell, hang on. Oh, I am back. That was a chap who's doing some work on a house over nearby. It's firstly saying he might be making a noise, so I'm hoping that I can get done before he makes a noise. So I'm going to keep going. Light phthalo green is what I'm going to try for the water. I think I'm going to put a blue on top, but I don't want it too bluey. I might just leave it green. We'll see how it looks. But I asked him he asked me if our driveway needed cleaning. It does, but I don't want him to do it. I don't think it's necessary, but I asked him if he could do my guttering. He's got a really tall ladder. He's going to do that, so that's really good. I've got a plant growing out of my gutter in the silt. So he's going to come and do that about lunchtime, so that's good. So it was a worthwhile conversation, and he's not charging. He seems to be charging quite a very reasonable rate for doing that. So that's good. And actually I know some other neighbours who really need it doing, and I might tell him. I'm not sure what to do with this. I'm going to put, when I colour those stones, I'm going to put a little edge around there in the darker colour, just to make it look like it's not just water hanging in the air, like it's got a sort of surround. I know what I mean. So So let's all do this water. Now, if you want to put white in the water to make it look like there's sort of foam or waves or whatever, you need to put quite an intense layer of this colour because it's quite pale. I've got a lot of white paper showing through, and so if I try to put lines on, they're just going to disappear. You won't see them really, the white. The whole art, that's not the right word, the whole technique for white is to get a good foundation underneath first and then it shows up. Let's do these stones. I'm thinking I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the warm grey 5 that I used for the roofs. I think it will tie it together. I think it's quite a good stone colour. It's getting quite small. But as I say, just a little bit around the edge here. I'm not sure, whoops, I snapped the end then, did you hear? I'm not sure if that's quite what Johanna meant when she drew it like that, but that's how I have interpreted it. And I'm trying to do the stones quite dark, and then there's little gaps between them, which you may have noticed. What I'm going to do with those gaps is I could put water in there, but I'm just going to lightly colour, oops, out of the lines. And I'm going to just come back with this green because I found a bit of mist. I'm okay with that water being that colour. If you want it slightly bluer, use your light cobalt turquoise over it. But I'm going to leave mine as green because, as I keep saying, it's going to have a blue background, but we have to do our whale. Now, how do we colour a whale? No idea. Right, so I've got a Paynes grey here, and I'm going to do these stripes. I'm going to do them how I did them on my original one and just fade it a bit. So a darker bit there, and then fade it down. And a darker bit there, and then fade it down. I had a feeling that's how they looked, but I don't know. You can look it up, look one up if you want, and try and copy it, but it's quite small. So just try your best. There we go. Got a bit of the stripe showing. I'm not sure about the tail. I'm not interested in stripes on the tail. It's going to fade it. Now the main back part I think should be black, really. I don't want it to be black, so I'm going to use my artistic license and use a cold grey 4 and go a bit lighter. I want it to be light. I think it's sort of cuter. There we go. Now I am going to do this smoke. I want a warm grey. Warm grey 3. I've got a warm grey 3. Yeah, here it is. Warm grey 3. You can't see. Small. And I'm just going to colour it in because I'm thinking once I've done my background, I don't want to be leaning over. Now of course smoke could be white, so you could do your background and then all in blue and then colour over this in a white pen to make it whiter. I mean, smoke isn't white though, isn't it? It's usually a bit dirty. There we go. Just going right to the edges. I'm going to give it a brush. If I can find my brush, there it is. And then get out some pastels. Let's go across so you can see these are my Mungio soft pastels. And I'm only going to use one blue for the sky, and I'm going to use a sky template, a cloud template, sorry, which is this one. Now let's try and I'm going to come out a little so you can see. That's better. You can see better. So yes, this is my cloud and sun template that I was gifted quite a long time ago. I've used it loads. It's very good. Have my pastels. I'm going to use the second blue. Just grab a washable cotton makeup cloth. There's a bit of blue on there already, so that's fine. I'm actually going to turn these round. Oh, excuse me. Parcel that time. Right, let's get going. So get some blue onto our little cloth and just rub it on. I try to avoid the pencil work if I can, but it's not always that easy. I just do the best I can. A little bit in here. Now sometimes I get more pastel on the cloth than other times, and so how thick it is can vary, and I think that's fine because it gives it a slightly more realistic feel. I think, you know, clouds and sky, it's not always the same colour. So, and I'm just doing this quite randomly, trying to make it in different directions. Just try and keep that straight for you. And you're feeling all squiffy seasick. I'm going to pop a little bit in there. And it always looks a little bit odd, I find, until I've brushed it off at the end. And remember, you can always go back and add more, and you can even take it away because you can use an eraser on soft pastels. So if it doesn't quite go to plan, if you've got a big fingerprint in it or something like that, you can just erase. Right, I'm going to brush that off and have a look. I think I might just leave it like that. Let's pop it in the middle for you to see. So there we go. I felt like I rushed the end a bit because people keep coming to the door, but and I want to just finish so that I can go and talk to them. A chap's coming to do some work, so yeah, so there we go. So there is our floating eyeliner, and in just 2 videos, so that's rather good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.